This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. Lake Moon by Emma Chamberlain and Blythe Stone. Chapter 1. Sydney. Lake Moon is a small town. That's the first thing I would say to describe it. The lake it's named for is 2 miles outside of town, and down in the valley. If you know it's there, you think you have a secret place even though there's a whole town nearby. It's beautiful and surrounded by the kind of dense woods that scream Pacific Northwest. The ones you see in those travel guides and horror films. Green, dark, and usually a little damp. The lake has everything. Most of the town's economy depends on the tourists that filter in for summer. The rest of the year? Businesses barely scrape by, drawing their belts in so they can make it through winter. The people that live here are from here, and the ones that come from other places don't usually stay long, except for me. I can't seem to find my way out. Several years into my relocation, and I'm just now being accepted as part of the town, rather than an outsider, which is good, considering. I am the sheriff. You adapt to Lake Moon, not the other way around. The county is rural, that's for sure, and Lake Moon is the center of it. Not in geography but in heart and size. When anything happens here, it's reported in the local news first thing, but that is slow compared to the grapevine of gossip that circulates like a hotbed of blooming bacteria. I guess when you live in a place like this, the most interesting thing to do is snoop into the business of your neighbors. It has come in handy for me a few times. If I needed to know who was doing what, I just went down to the barber shop or the town hall, where the quilting circle gathered. Those old folks and the PTA know everything. That's how I found myself outside the Larkin house so early on a Saturday morning. I heard Jess Larkin was back before she even arrived. As soon as they saw the BMW, luxury cars were a definite rarity, zoom past the county line, the calls started. Eva Larkin had died 1 week ago to the day, and with her, she took the secrets that I needed. I just hoped that Jess could give me some kind of answers here. Somewhat of a mystery, she'd never answered my emails. This cold case had plagued the area for 15 years. I always figured rather than stir things up, I should work quietly until I had something to go on. It was a thorn in my side, this case. A 17-year-old girl, missing and never found, and the last one to see her was her best friend, Jess. The file lived in a drawer on the left side of my desk. Sometimes I slipped my fingers under the handle and pulled it open just to stare down at the manila folder that held the biggest case file in Winnegat County history. This many years later, and I was no further on. I'd close the drawer and come back to it another day, just like the crosswords I liked to do in the Sunday paper. I got out of my car at the Larkin home and walked up to the front door. The house was well kept, but it could do with restoration. It was an old cabin, one of the older ones left standing in town, a testament to a different era, when this place had been populated by forests ripe with old growth. That's what the cabin had been made out of, and over the years parts had been added. It was evident that someone was home. I heard music coming from an open window upstairs, and a figure kept moving back and forth by the window. I'd given it a day, but I wanted to pay a visit, maybe ask a few questions. There were things that people remembered, even many years on, that they never thought of before. You never knew till you asked. Chapter 2. Jess. My mother had always been a quiet and secretive person. Her humor shone like a light on me throughout all our hard times. Years apart and rarely a visit, but she did call. "How are you doing, Jess?" Just the simplest question. "I'm fine, Mama." "Any handsome men in your life?" "No, Mama," I'd laugh. "Oh, that's too bad," she'd always laugh too. We'd sit together, give each other a small piece of company. Mama would talk about our neighbor Joe and how sweet he was, always helping her with the leaks in the house or the fence. Or my godmother Bee, who lived a few towns over and visited sometimes, how she was planning the bake sale again, or riling up talk of some local dog show revival. "We used to have one, you know." "I know, Mama," I'd smile.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.